program number 1 of unit 2. Let us see first of all a definition. Write a program containing following controls. Means you have to create a web page which has the following controls. One of them is drop down list, another is button, and last one is a label. Now let us see what is the use of these controls. First, the drop down list is used to list items available in a store. You can fetch the name of items from the database, or you can store the items name as a static during the design time. Means you need to use the items property of this drop down list box. When the user clicks on an item in drop down list, the cost of the selected item is displayed in a label control. So user has to select any item from the drop down list, and as in when the item is selected, you need to display the cost of that item in a one label control. Then you have to change form title as ASP.NET. It is a form title, not the form name. Then the button must be in the center of a form. So first of all, let us do first part like up to this one. So first what you have to do, open a new page, then put one message using a label control. Let's say select an item so user can understand what he or she has to do. Then you have to put one drop down list box and use the properties, mean properties of them, and one of the property is id, because we are going to use this drop down list in a coding. So let us change its id and say drop down list items. Then you need to set the items property. Click on this and add the items as many as you want. Give their set their property like say text and the cost, because we need to display cost of selected item. So assign some cost to that particular item. So text property is used to display the name of items in a drop down list box, and value property can be used to set the cost or value of that particular item. Same way, add one more and assign text property and value. You can add as many as items in this box. Finally, click on OK button. Next thing is say, as and when the item is selected from this particular list, we need to display its cost in this particular label. So I have used one label control and change its ID is LBL cost. Nothing else you have to set. Afterwards, you have to uh, uh, make the property of this drop down list box as auto post back true, because as and when item is selected, immediately we want to display cost of that item in a label. So the event of drop down list box is selected. You can say that selected index change index is used for this drop down list item. So you can say this is the event of drop down list box. We have changed its id, so this is the name of that particular drop down list box. Then say selected index change event is used. Now in that you have to display the cost of selected item into the label. Now label id is lbl cost, so lbl cost dot text is equal to, again say this is a fixed message like you have selected item, so it is not going to be changed as and when item is changed. So we have used it in a literal string. After that, you want to concat this message with the item cost, selected item cost. So you can say selected item plus drop down items dot selected item dot text. That means the message will display that if a user has selected pen drive, then it will display that the selected item is pen drive and its cost is rupees this. So first of all, we have concatenated this message. You have selected item, the name of item. So for that, drop down list box name dot selected item dot text, so it will return the name of items which is selected by the user. Then again you need to concate the message like say its cost is rupees this, plus again you have to concate this message with the dynamic value as the cost of item, selected item. So you can say control name dot selected item dot value, so it will return the cost of selected item. Now next part is as per definition, again you have to add more controls, two labels, one text box and one button. One out of these two labels, one label is displayed adjacent to the text box, means this text box. So before that you have to put one label and then put the text box. Then this label displays the message like say enter quantity. So label, one of the label is used to give the message to the user as that user has to enter the quantity of the product if he or she wants to purchase, and then he or she can enter that value of quantity in a text box. So we need to use a text box. Then when the user enters the quantity in a text box and clicks the button, so this button will be used to fire something. So what we need to do, clicks the button, the total cost is evaluated and displayed in another table. That means when the user has entered a quantity of selected item, let's say if I have selected pen drive and if I enter the quantity as 5, so I need to display total cost as the selected items cost multiplied by the quantity which is entered in this particular text box. So now let us see how to do it. So first thing is you put one label and text, set its text property as say enter quantity, and adjacent to it put one control as a text box which allows the user to enter quantity. Now you need to change this property of this control as id because we are going to use this text box in a coding. So txt quantity and nothing else you have to set. Afterwards, you need to put one more label in which we are going to display total cost of the item. Means we need to multiply this quantity and the cost of selected item, and that will return total cost. So change the id of label as lbl total cost, means lblt cost, and then put one more button as a place order. So when user clicks on this particular button, we need to display total cost. So change the id of button as button order and text as place order. One more thing, that you have to change the title of form and you need to put a button at the center. So when you put the button, by default it is at the left side. So how we can put any control at the center of the form? So what you have to do, whichever control you want to put at the center of the form, you just select it, go to the source part, and before that control code you need to use center tag. So center starting of center tag, between then ending of center tag. In between this starting and ending of center tag, you need to put the code of that particular ASP.NET control. So this will put the button at the center of the form. Next thing is you have to change the title of form. So go to the title part, means in head you can see title tag is there. So between the starting and ending of title tag, you have to type the title of the form. Here we need to set the title of the form as ASP.NET. So in this way you can set the title of the form. Next, now when the user clicks on the place order, so use the click event and you need to get the quantity value which is entered in the text box, and you need to get the cost of selected item. And once you get the quantity and cost per piece, cost of item per piece, then use two variables a and b. I have used a and b as double, and finally I will use the c variable which will return the total cost. So declare the variables double a b c, then a equal to what you want to store in a, you want to store a quantity which is entered by the user in a text box. So the name of text box is txtqty, and if you say quantity means the text box dot text, then it returns the value entered by the user in that particular text box. So it returns the quantity value, but we know that txt means text box always consider the value entered by the user as a string, and we want to apply arithmetic operations as multiplication, so we cannot perform that operation on a string type of data. So we need to convert it into integer or double. So there is a function, ready-made function, that is a convert. So you can say system.convert dot to double. So this is a class, a convert again class, and a convert class has one method, that is to double. So it converts the given string type of data into double. Same way you get the value of b, that says the drop down list item dot selected value into convert into double. So again you can use the same method. So it will convert the value, means cost of the selected item, into double. And then finally you can say C is equal to A into B, means quantity into the cost of item per piece. Then it will return total quantity. Now this is a total cost which we want to display in a label total cost. So label total cost dot text is equal to message like say total cost is. So now C is a type of double, and we are going to assign this double value to the text this type of data, that means string type of data. So we need to convert it into string. So you can say C dot to string. So this method converts the numeric value, given numeric value into the string type of the data, and then it is assigned to this label. So total cost is this. Now let us run and check it. So you can say that it will ask the user to select one single item at a time, and then user can see the cost of selected item. After that user wants to purchase that item, then he or she can enter the quantity, and finally he or she can place the order. So let us say select an item. If I select item as mouse, then it says that you have to okay, we have not set the auto tag auto post property of this particular drop down box as true. So that is the reason that this event is not fired. So let us see. Select the drop down list box and set the okay, enable auto post back property is true. Okay, why we are not getting it? Let us check it. Okay, now let us change mouse. Okay, so it is working. You have selected item mouse and its cost is 300 rupees. Let us change another item and select hard disk. So it says you have selected item hard disk and its cost is 6,000 rupees. Okay, now suppose I want to purchase this item. So I have to enter quantity. If I enter as 10, then it says 10 into 6,000. So it will return 60,000, and say place order. Click on place order. Now you can say total cost is 60,000. However, I have not written rupees symbol, currency symbol. So you can add like in this way. One more thing is that you can see that button is at the center of the form, and the title that we have set using the title tag is displayed in this particular window. So this is the title of a form. So just you can change that the cost is rupees, and then again test it. Let us test it and select any item, say pen drive, and its cost is 400 rupees. If I select item as quantity 5, so 5 multiplied by 400, that says rupees 2000. So our program is correct. Thank you.